goals as well. Kit. The Maroon and Greens, such great success over the last few seasons in the ISL, looking to continue that in this shortened season as they bid to go 3 points clear at the top. Still awaiting the two teams to come back out for the start of the second half, but Renedy Singh, I'm sure, will be pleased with the resolve his side showed in that first half. But they need to have a little bit more than resolve in the second half. Karen Sullivan is here, time to reflect over the half-time interval. I'm sure we'll see Jason Cummings on at some point in the second half, but Bengaluru have to find a way to get, well, past that man in particular, Alberto Rodriguez, who was a real tower at the back for Mohun Bagan in that first half.
Yeah, very solid at the back there, Alberto Rodriguez. Will be interesting to see what Sergio Lobera and Renedy Singh do. They bring on any players, because, as you said, Mark, you've got the likes of Cummings on the bench. He can come on, he can create a difference. On the Bengaluru FC as well, you have those kind of players who can be brought on. The likes of Vidit Venkatesh, who have been brought on for base. He can play down the wings, can play up front in a two-man attacking formation. Although these fans here at the Kantirva Stadium, they expect a spectacular. They expect something that they've come for on a Saturday evening. They want the home team to get wins of this match. Although Mohun Bagan, super giant, you've seen them on a couple of occasions in the first 45 minutes where they could have conceded. But for the remainder of the match, or the remainder of the first 45 minutes, they've looked strong, they've looked solid, kept the ball, moved the ball around nice and with quick pace.
Bengaluru themselves, no strangers to success, of course, ISL champions in the 18-19 season, runners-up the season before, runners-up last season to Mohun Bagan after taking them to extra time in the final. What does the second half hold? And Mohun Bagan haven't looked remotely like dropping any points so far, so it would be a real big moment for Bengaluru if they can get something from the game. But you know that Mohun Bagan have got that firepower, they've got those changes that they can make off the bench. Should be an interesting 45 minutes to come. Kerala Masters picked up their first point earlier with a 1-1 draw against East Bengal at the Salt Lake. Will we get a positive result in this one? Lakshay is the referee, getting us underway. Bengaluru in that change strip of pink to celebrate International Women's Day. The players were led out the player escorts today, friends and family. Sunil Chetri's wife was there, Ryan Williams' daughter. It's a kit they wore last season as well for International Women's Day as well. Here's Roshan. Bengaluru kicking from right to left in the second half. Ralbeke. Over the top, headed in by Ashi. Offside flag up against the former Mohun Bagan player. Just strayed a fraction too early. Free kick to Mohun Bagan.
Yeah, good thinking, quick thinking there. She marginally offside, just making that run in behind the defence. You saw Abhishek, he got him ball watching there. And Ashik Kurunian, he needs to make more of those runs. Picked up well by Bengaluru FC's midfield there.
By Shulkate, who saved one from Ryan Williams with his face in the first half. I think certainly Ashik and Ryan Williams will be the key. If Bengaluru can get in behind that Mohun Bagan defence, Sunil Chetri will put himself around in the middle. There's Roshan. So you'd expect Williams to be, but you could just see him making his way back out to that far side, having gone down the middle.
They're getting back in position, although we'd like to see more of Sanchez on the ball, the Spaniard. And his start in the Indian Super League this time around was a start that set the standard with what he can do with and without the ball.
Samsung made a couple of important interceptions in that first half. Bagan and East Bengal are the two top scorers in the league at the moment, 14 and 9 goals now respectively after East Bengal's goal earlier on. It's Jara moving into 5, just 2 behind Demi McLaren. Berto's a fierce ball back to Vishal Kaith, who cleared it first time but not very well. Siraj straight at the goalkeeper though. Better clearance that time for Vishal Kaith. Chase on here for Manvir, but it'll beat him into touch.
Siraj there just gets on to the second ball of Puya. Misses it. There was movement. You see the kind of movement on the ball. Vishal get all eyes on the ball, although Siraj there, he knows that he can be lethal. Not afraid of taking those shots from far out.
You certainly have had to be a bit special to beat Vishal Kaith from that sort of range. Golden Glove winner from last year, of course, 14 clean sheets. Here's Ryan Williams. Subhasish Bose just got there in time. Crowd just sensed Williams' pace might have got him to the ball first, but good clearance. Back in again. Sheik at the back. Away by Tapa. Liston looking for Petratos. Beke gets there and manages to guide it to Nikhil Pujari. Williams. Fanai. Chetri. Roshan. Ashik. Roshan's gone on a run. If anything, just taken Manvir with him. Siraj. Just 2 goals conceded by Mohun Bagan in their last 2 matches, and both really from defensive errors. There was a corner scored in the game against Mohammedan, and then a mix-up at the back which allowed Odisha to score. Rahim Ali.
Sunil Chetri just clips a Puya from behind, who's not very happy, just straight away goes marching towards the ref and asking for a yellow card.
Alberto. Here's Tom Aldred. Jose Molina, of course, guided Mohun Bagan to the title last season. He's just taken over the job of as the Honduras national coach. Alberto. Tapa. Liston. Subhasish Bose whips it in again. Just flicked away by Roshan. Did he get a touch on that? Yes, he did. Corner to Mohun Bagan.
Yeah, Roshan almost jumps up in time and he's not aware of the situation, not too aware if there's a man behind him. Flicks it in behind for safety. A second corner there for Mohun Bagan Super Giant, and this man, Petratos.
Right the way across, came off Nikhil Pujari. Sanchez just manages to wriggle his way free from Liston Colasso. Gives the ball away though. Avi Mitai. Petratos stayed out wide. Good ball in. Good header again though from Ral Beke. Subhasish Bose thought about the first time shot. Blocked by Nikhil Pujari. Now Sanchez to bring this away for Bengaluru. Williams almost got it past Alberto. Just the faintest of touches, otherwise he'd have been away there, Ryan Williams. Sheik. Williams has gone for the return. It's a good ball. Chetri in the middle. Can't get past Tom Aldred though. Great running, great ground covered there by Ryan Williams. And a good move by Bengaluru, but again it comes to nothing.
And solid defending by Ashik at the end of it. Very strong, very solid. But Ryan Williams there, what about that run from him? He starts to move from the right flank and makes his way somehow in towards the left. Bengaluru FC trying to get at the end of crosses. the end of balls being played here. And at the other end, Mohun Bagan Supergiant plays one ball in very, very poor, in no man's land. Look at this for a chance for Ryan Williams. He wants to get it back for Sunil Chetri.
He certainly covered some ground there, Williams. He started on the far side in his own half. Ended up going cross-field and almost setting up a chance. Rolbeke. Alberto's there again, nice touch. Alberto Rodriguez. Subasic Bose. Alberto Rodriguez, who was a league winner at Persib Bandung in Indonesia before moving to India. Apoya. Petratos. Just wonder how long Sergio Libera will leave it before thinking about changes. Last time Mohun Bagan failed to score in an ISL game was a 0-0 draw with Chennai in January last year. Williams. Just muscled out of it again by Jamie McLaren. He's been a little bit quiet by his standards tonight. That one that came off his shoulder in the first half. Sanchez felt that should be a Bengaluru ball, but it's gone the other way. Tapa. Now Petratos. Making it very difficult for Mohun Bagan with all those pink shirts back behind the ball.
It's almost like Bengaluru FC, they've changed the kind of football they're playing in the second 45 minutes. Very compact when Mohun Bagan Supergiant are keeping the ball. All the pink shirts behind the ball in and close to the 18-yard box. Unlike the first 45 minutes where they were pressing higher up the pitch and attacking without any fear. Here it's almost sort of, they do not want to concede first and maybe be lucky if they get a goal.
Subasic Bose in again. It's just too far ahead of Manvir. Avi Mitai. Apoya. Good pressure. Players going down in the area. It's gone against Manvir Singh. Foul on Sana. 6 of one, half a dozen the other maybe, but Lakshay going in favour of Bengaluru. Mohun Bagan can't quite believe it. That was a lovely ball in a moment or so ago, and it only needed a positive touch from Manvir, and that would have been the opening goal.
Yeah, Puya taking a touch to get the ball out of his feet, and there Manvir Singh commits a foul on Chinglin Sana. Not very happy the Mohun Bagan Supergiant bench with that decision.
Subasic Bose. Chase on for Liston, but it'll be a one to give up. Racing away for another goal kick. 10 minutes gone already in the second half. That clearest chance we had just a moment or so ago for Manvir. Just goes to show, if you put that little bit of quality into the box, you always stand the chance of getting on the score. Fanai. Siroj. Sheik. Good ball in, just too high for Sanchez. Pujari will press Liston Colasso. Needs to make sure he doesn't foul. Liston did well. Wins the throw.
Oh, Sheik gets the ball in from the left flank, and Sanchez, he does attack that. That's what you want. You want your midfielders, your number 10, to create that space, especially in between the two centre-backs. Where you see Sunil Chetri drawing a defender away from Sanchez, and Sanchez attacking that space right in the centre of goal. Very nice.
That's probably the first time we've seen a Bengaluru player get in front of Alberto Rodriguez, and if a little bit's taken off that cross, Sanchez might have been able to get a header on target. Clever movement to be there. Puya, away again by Sana, who's been solid at the back for Bengaluru tonight. Siroj. There's no need for Tapa really to dive in. It forced Siroj to go back towards his own goal and then gives away a cheap free kick.
And Siroj just twisting and turning with the ball. No need for that. And that's that kind of battle in midfield, a little bit extra that you'd like. And you Tapa.
Manvia. Mitai. Petratos. Lovely ball to pick out Jamie McLaren, but he can't bring it down. It was always difficult, those coming over your shoulder, trying to keep your eye on the ball and where you're going as well, but just unable to get a foot on that.
And somehow he does that, Jamie McLaren. I mean, he's the only player in the 18-yard box and finding himself in space behind the two defenders.
Siroj into space for Sanchez once again. Now Williams, three in the middle. Williams didn't pull it back in. If you can see Siroj, arms wide, but too close to Vishal Kaith, who will snap those up all evening. Better going forward though from Bengaluru. A bit more purpose about the attacks now. Sanchez and Siroj getting a little bit more involved in the second half. Manvia. Sanchez goes straight through the back of Apoya, and that could be a card, and it will be a yellow card for Brian Sanchez.